Hello there, this is Sheila coming to you with a tutorial about how is it that I work with the Cricut cartridge giant flowers. As you can see here, I already have set up two petal patterns that I took from the giant flowers cartridge. So let's search for the cartridge first so I can show you the images I'm going to be using. And you know what? I forgot to put it in cartridges because I put all images. But let's make our life easier and go to cartridges, and type it again, giant flowers. And look at all of these beautiful flowers. There will be another tutorial. Comment below if you would like me to do a tutorial for each flower shown in here using the original handbook for this cartridge, because right now we're just taking some of the patterns of the petals of each flower. So let's go ahead and select the two flowers I'm using and insert them. It will show you how originally they look like. Right here we have the rose. And this is a poppy. And what I'm going to do right now is to select one of them. I'm going to start with the rose and ungroup that, because you don't really need anything but the layer of your choice, or the pattern of your choice, I meant. You get 1, 2, and 3. From one already set up rose, you get 3 different patterns to use. So in this case, as you can notice, I chose this one right here. Let me click on it. Okay, let me delete this first so it won't be on the way. You don't need anything from that. And this is the one I chose to cut. So we don't need these. Let's get rid of them as well. And you can choose any size you want to do it. In this case, I did the bigger petal in 5 inches. And you can duplicate them or keep the petals, because it gives you like 8 of the same one, and you can choose to resize them as well. But I just want to make sure you see that I'm doing this, leaving the space in between each size. You can do it by 1/2 inch. I usually do that by 1/2 inch, depending on the biggest size I have. Or you can do it as you can see, you can do it on the size box, or you can size it manually. I really like to do it manually as I'm going, but it's up to you. So you can see I just put 3 as an example, but I actually put 5 on the cardstock paper. You can do that to have 5 layers, which means 5 different sizes of petals, or you can do more or less. It's up to you. The poppy, it sounds like poppy, right? Poppy. The same way, you ungroup them. You can use the center that it provides if you want to, or you can do your own. I'm not really going to use that one because I think I have something else in mind. And look at this. You get 2 patterns from 1 flower. Just ignore what I'm doing right now. Don't touch anything on that log. You want to leave the log alone for now. I just wanted to show you that you get 2 patterns from 1 flower. But I'm not going to be working with this one. I want the bigger one right here. And like I said before, you can keep the layers. You see how this one already brought all 4 layers? I like it. I'm going to keep 4 layers. So I just have to resize the pattern. As you can see, I put this one as 5 inches. And then I went down by 1/2 inch each. And this is why I like manually. I don't like going back and forth with the mouse. I'm kind of lazy on that matter. So, oops. What am I doing here? No, I want 3.5. This tells you how much I'm not used to do this like that. But anyway, okay, let's just leave this one like that. You get the idea of doing this white pattern that I did in the back. This is the circle or the base I use. I got it from the Basic Shapes. This is where you're gonna glue the flowers. So I got this one in 5.5 for the poppy, and I got this one 7 inches for the rose petals. And just keep in mind, I'm gonna say it later on the video, that the bigger the circle, the more petals you're gonna need. So you don't want to leave so much space in between, unless you have enough sizes or layers that you can cover up the in-between spaces. Right now, I also want to show you this. I call it my guide, and I'm going to show you why. Because when you click go, it's going to automatically set what kind of size you want to cut your flowers in. But before doing that, I know it gives you the option to put this size, 8.5 by 11. But I like to attach my petals beforehand, because that way I save paper. I make them fit in an 8.5 by 11, like I said, and that way I can attach them together. I twist and twirl until they all fit together. You don't have to do it this way. It is time consuming, but because I'm so used to do it this way, it works for me, because you want to take advantage of that 0.25 inch that the mat takes you away. If you have a worn out mat, you're gonna notice that that little space that it never cuts on. This is why it doesn't show it to me right here, right now, because I already attached my image. It's already 8.5 by 11. So when you put the paper on the mat, you want to make sure you don't put it all the way at the edge right here. No, you want to leave that space, the 0.25 inches of space, and that way it will cut in between the 11 and the 8.5. But yeah, once you get used to it and you get the hang of it, you will know what to do. And you want to cut it 5 times. You can do it like this, put in the number, or you can do it, by memory, put in the mat 5 times. And here are the poppies already set up as well. I attached them beforehand. And just keep in mind that you want to cut the circles 1 time. You can leave it like that, or you can just come back, cut the petals first, and then come back and hide all the petals. Alright, so now that we have our layers, you remember I choose from the rose petal, I choose this one. So I made 6 different sizes or layers, and then I cut each one 5 times to have enough petals around the circle I did for this one. And this one is the poppy. I did 4 layers, which means 4 different sizes, and I cut as well I think 5 of each petal, so I will be able to fill out the circle. When I talk to you about fill out the circle, this is what I mean. I use different sizes of circle depending on how big your circle it is how big your flower is going to be. But the only thing I recommend you is that be aware that the bigger you make your circle, the more petals you have to make, so you can be able to cover the in-between spaces. For example, you want your flowers to be about this close, even like this much, so you can use the next layer to cover that up. You see what I mean? Okay. And to bend the petal, what I use is just like, here we go, some very round surface, like a marker. To make smaller petals, I use a smaller pen or marker, or if you have one of those fancy tools. I have this quick stick, and I also use like this side or even this side. But if you have the fancy tool, I'm not sure what's the name of it, to work with paper flowers, well, even better, right? But I usually work with what I have. So this one will be for the rose, and this circle is 5.5 inches, and this one will be used for the poppy. And now this is the time when I'm gonna be working on each petal and gluing it. I use a hot glue gun. It's faster, and you need the petals to be ready faster, like to dry out faster as you glue.